All right, we are green. Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, our beautiful country, and how we're going to fix everything together. So as you filter in here to have one hell of a beginning of a Monday, this is one of those things you guys need to know about. The AWB, the assault weapons ban, the big one we've been watching, Snope versus Brown. It just got put on schedule for conference 4 days from now. Let's freaking go. So as you guys get in here, make sure you can hear me, you can see me in the video chat, and we are ready to rock. This is going to be one you guys are going to like a whole lot. All right, welcome back, everybody. As you guys are getting in here, love to see it. Good stuff. Make sure you can hear me, see me. All is good. 5x5, that's all I needed. Let's jump into it, beautiful people. Patriots across this incredible nation. We have been struggling underneath the boot of the gun controllers through the Democrats for decades now. And now, the culmination of everything they've ever wanted, the assault weapon ban, the one thing, the bane of their existence, all the bans put forward by all the states are coming up to one particular point in the SCOTUS. Now, this case that we're about to talk about is Snope versus Brown. This is the Maryland assault weapons ban case. Lots of other ones, but that's this one. I'm going to show you the history on this. It's going down in 4 days, at least for conference, and they're going to decide if they're going to hear it, probably this year. Let me walk you through this, guys. This is a big one. This is something that we have been fighting for a hot minute. All right. Let's go. And by the way, if you're just now watching for the first time, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on because we are pursuing freedom. We'd love to have you along for the ride. All right, let's get it. AWBcase.com. So this is from FPC, Firearms Policy Coalition. Snope versus Brown, FPC law to a challenge to Maryland's assault weapons ban case. And I'm going to show you what the high level is. That's kind of the high level. And what's happened previously. Okay, this is the important piece. Let me scroll on down here, and it shows you the last thing that they did, the Supreme Court right here, 2024, December 11th, right there, it was rescheduled. Okay, now, here's something really important we have to say. I have to say, I'm sorry, I have to. There was a lot of speculation that this was a bad omen for this case. When this was rescheduled, it wasn't just, okay, so it's rescheduled. It's rescheduled because they're kicking the can down the road. They're never going to bring it up for conference again. Well, here we go. First of the year, it's already rescheduled for conference. So, as you can see, there's confirmation from SCOTUSblog.com, December 11th, right down here at the bottom, rescheduled, okay? We've already seen that. I just showed you that on FPC. Now, let me show you the newest update here. So, as you can see, sorry, let me get this it's centered up here. This is the Snope case right here, and it is from the SupremeCourt.gov. Proceeding and orders. I'm going to scoot out a little bit down here, right there. December 11th, 2024, it was rescheduled, as I just showed you. January 6th, that is today, 2025, distributed for conference on 1/10/2025. That is 4 days from now. Now, what does that mean? What that means is the SCOTUS is going to get together with this case and look at all the other cases that are also assault weapon ban cases, like the ones out of California, New Jersey, Illinois, and now Maryland. As I've said on this channel multiple times for years at this point, it has to work its way up the pyramid. They've worked their way up the pyramid in 4 different individual cases, all of which are having kind of conflicting results, and now it's going to be viewed for conference by the SCOTUS, okay? If you look at this, on the 10th, we could find out that they decide to take up this case and hear it this year, which means we would get the response next year, all right? Now, if that were to happen, and again, we're in conjecture land right now. This is an amazing start. We don't know what's going to happen on this. I'll always be very objective on that. If they take this case up, the gun controllers are in a big, big world of hurt. Because that means that potentially there's not enough issues with the constitutionality of assault weapons ban at the SCOTUS level to where they would actually take it up and discuss it. And if they take it up and discuss it, the odds of them holding on to the assault weapons bans are very slim. You got an extreme conservative majority. The assault weapons bans are just obviously infringements upon the Second Amendment, and they're unconstitutional across the board. It's obvious. Again, if it gets picked up on the 10th, we're going to know, and that's going to be one heck of a thing. Now, here's the backside to this, and then I'll jump into the comments right over here, or the chat, because this is a live, and I love that you guys check these out. So this is from Mark Smith. Mark Smith is another one of the YouTubers who covers this. This guy, he's pretty on it. I mean, to be completely objectively fair, I know Mark. I've seen Mark's work. He is pretty dialed into this, okay? So he said the exact same thing. It's been distributed for conference on the 10th. But I want to show you something that a comment underneath, and this is, we're going to spend a second talking about this. I'm not getting my hopes up too far, seen this show before. And then what they came up with was the last 4 tweets or posts on X from Mark Smith, okay? This is not a dig at Mark Smith. I'm just saying objectively this is what someone commented. It's a good point of conversation. It's been scheduled for conference. It's been scheduled for conference, rescheduled, now rescheduled again. Or excuse me, rescheduled and now for conference again. So does that mean immediately that it's going to be heard on the 10th? Time will tell. But the only reason I show you this here is because there has been a lot of movement on this case, objectively. Okay? But now let's talk about what this could truly mean when we go back to this right here. This case for the Snope versus Brown case, this one has the potential to completely undermine gun controllers forever. Okay, and why is that important? And you guys have to understand the massive, what's the best way to say that? The massive undermining of the gun control narrative that this will be. Okay, they can't go after handgun bans. They can't. They simply can't. They do not have the public support in Democrat circles and independent circles and in Republican circles. They just don't have it. I've showed you the numbers multiple times. However, on the Democrat circles, they have almost complete unanimity on the going after assault weapons bans. They've promised their acolytes that it's constitutional and it's for safety, right? If they have this undermined by the SCOTUS, they are going to be in a world of hurt. If they didn't have bump stocks, if they can't have pistol braces, if they're going to have trouble with ghost gun bans, if they have trouble with AWB bans, that literally means that everything that they've hung all of their fundraising on is going to go out the window. Now, where does that translate down to? That means their main fear point that they always rally support around doesn't exist anymore. If they can't ban assault weapons through an AWB, then they can't continue to permeate the idea that they're for safety, because they can't go after handguns. This would put them in such a bad position that they would always be on the back foot because they have nothing to gin up that fear of which they rely on. Does that make sense? They are against the wall on this. And on the 10th, 4 days from now, which we're going to cover, so make sure you have that subscription on and notification bell good, because on the 10th, you're going to find out if SCOTUS is going to take this case up, and you're going to hear it probably in June, because they usually like to do work in June, or May, or something right before that. This is a big one. Let me jump into the comments really quippy. It's kind of funny. All right. Can't believe I lived long enough to see it. We'll keep on living because it is going to be a thing. I'm just saying. I'm glad they're taken up in the first place. Excellent. I love it. I'm just trying to catch up on the chat that you guys have put in here. Don't comply. I will never comply. You guys can hear me. That's good. Okay, so this is a really good comment that someone just left. Big step 1. Now we have to get them to accept and grant cert. So what that means, and these are the next steps in reality, they have to have a conference about it. Then they have to accept it. And then they have to grant cert or certiorari. Okay, so that means we hear you, we see it, we see the problem, we're going to talk about it, we're going to make a ruling. That's effectively what has to happen. This is the first step. Now that it's actually in conference and has been rescheduled, which a lot of people said it wasn't going to happen because rescheduling is essentially a death knell. Obviously wasn't. So it was rescheduled to this date. It happens on this date, and we find out if they take the case up. That's effectively what it is through granting cert and accepting the case. So if they say, yes, we're going to discuss this, just like the bump stock bans, just like the Chevron deference case with Loper Enterprises, everything. Just like the, what's the name of that? Cargill, just like the Cargill case. Everything that we've seen, the Rahimi case, it all goes through this process. Guys, they are climbing the pyramid and they're running out of escape doors. That's effectively what we're looking at right now. Let me jump down here, make sure I didn't miss anything. Let's go, make America full auto again. Subscription on and renewed my Second Legacy as well. Thank you very much. Second Legacy is the channel with me and Tim from Military Arms channel. All right, what are the chances this really passes? So, Armory Night, I'm going to talk about that for a second. This is not really a pass-fail kind of thing. Okay, that's Congress. What this is, these are state-level bans that are in conflict of the Second Amendment, and it's effectively going up to the SCOTUS for a ruling or a judgment. This is not a, are they going to have enough votes to get it passed and become law? This is, Are they going to have enough SCOTUS justices to say this is unconstitutional and strike down the ban? If they strike down the ban, because this is literally the gambit. If we win and they strike down the ban, which honest to God I think is likely, because this is really poorly written and it's a really gross infringement. If they strike down the AWB, or the assault weapons ban in Maryland, that means they have to go to Chicago. That means or Illinois. They have to go to New Jersey. They have to go to California. They have to go to Washington, D.C. All of these areas, they have to basically start at scratch. Does that sound familiar? Yes, it does. That is just like the Bruin decision. That unraveled gun control across the nation. And the precedent that was set and the new rules going forward also unraveled gun control forever. That's if we win. If they win on this case and somehow the advantage flips to them, basically what you're talking about is AWBs will be held up on a SCOTUS level and all the blue states will do it and it'll be enshrined forever. That's effectively what will happen, and then the congressional critters will start using that as a reason to do it federally. This is the gambit. So it's either make or break. We're either going to have it and they're going to get punched right in the gonads, or they're going to get it and we're going to get punched right in the gonads. I mean, it is literally one of those things. So that's kind of where we are at. Oh, and Massachusetts as well. It's another one. Well, thank you, Nathan. I'm crashing the party, David. That's right. Thomas is waiting to slap them around. Okay, so genuinely, and this is kind of what I would expect on this. And again, this is off the cuff, right? This is out of my sleeve. So bear with me. This is complete conjecture. What I would expect on this is I would expect you'd see Thomas, Alito, and you'd see Gorsuch go for striking down the AWB. You've got, of course, the three liberals, Kagan, Sotomayor, and Ketanji Brown Jackson. Those three are going to be a no. So right off the bat, it's 3 versus 3. Then you got those 3 other people right in the middle that are question marks. You got Kavanaugh, you got ACB, and you got Chief Justice John Roberts. Chief Justice John Roberts, wind is blowing. That's the way it's going to go. ACB, and Kavanaugh, I don't know. I think Kavanaugh would be likely inclined to go towards stopping the assault weapons bans because it's pretty unconstitutional. And I think Amy Coney Barrett would also be inclined to. If we get Chief Justice Roberts on that and he goes 6-3, that's the ultimate victory. I mean, you cannot get any better than that. Most likely, it's going to be 5-4 because Chief Justice John Roberts is squishier than a sponge. So, I don't know. It's going to be close. It's going to be close, and I'm here for it. But, man, if we get a 6-3, oh, that would be so beautiful. All right, let me jump into the chats really quick. Don't forget Connecticut. That's exactly right. Barry says Thomas has the decision already written. I love that. I hope he does, and I hope he has it forwarded to all the channels who support the Second Amendment so we can read them and celebrate in a grand fashion. You should expect to see Trump issue an executive order. I don't know what that reference is. We're going to win. Apocalyptic, that's a great way to end this. Yes, okay. So he said, or I don't know, apocalyptic, can't say he or she. They said we're going to win. That's something that has been a hallmark of this channel from the very beginning. If we grind, if we have SCOTUS, if we have the law, if we have the Constitution, and we continue fighting every single day, they're going to infringe. It's not a matter of if they infringe. It's not a matter to be offended if they infringe, because they're going to do it. It is like a guarantee. Is the sun coming up? Yep. Our gun control is going to gun control. Yep. It's not a matter of if. It's not a matter of getting upset that they do. It's a matter of what are we going to do about it. FPC, SAF, GOA, NAGR, what used to be NRA. All these groups have fought on the frontline trenches, and we built an entire social network pushing this forward. We've got multiple wins at our back. We have the Bruin decision. We have the Cargill decision. We have the Loper Enterprises decision. Guys, we are winning. And I'll be honest, anybody who says that we are not winning, I don't think is objectively looking at what the state of play on the ground is. We have 29 constitutional carry states. We had 19 when Biden started. We are moving forward more and more and more SCOTUS cases. Guys, we are on the tip of this freedom train, and it's going right to the station. Let me hear you guys in the comments on that one. Make sure you subscribe, like the channel, subscribe to this video, and hit the notification bell. And I will see you on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.